Hello, we're live. We're live here on Finding Your Purpose, my weekly show. And I have a really special guest for you today, Sabine Rushold. Forgive me if I've not pronounced that very well, Sabine, but anyway, I'll try my best. Sabine and I have known each other for about 4 or 5 months now, and I've grown in an extraordinary way as a result of knowing Sabine. She's a remarkable person, and she grounds me in a way that, she doesn't ground me. She raises my spirit in a way that not many others can. So before she blushes, I'm going to hand you over to Sabine with this first question. The question I always ask my guests, which is, how did you find your purpose? How do you discover it? We've had a few people on now. So, for example, Rick almost seems like he was born with his purpose. Mm-hmm. And, you got people like me whose purpose, my purpose was really a sad occasion of an event where somebody we used to know as Uncle John lost his leg due to uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. And, the following month, my son, Luke, who was 7 at the time, came to me and he said, "Dad, Uncle John lost his leg to type 2 diabetes. When are you having yours removed?" And we don't all have those moments, thank goodness. Otherwise, there'd be a lot too much grief in the world. But what was the event, or the piece of joy, or the grief, or what was the trigger for saying to yourself, "I found my way now. I found my purpose. This is what I'm born to do"?
Thank you for having me, Stephen. And I really got flushed, as you said. Your introduction was very, very, very nice. Thank you so much.
It was a long introduction, but please tell us your story. That's what I'm after.
Yeah. I started at the very beginning. My parents got divorced when I was about 3, and that's how I got 2 families to grow up and learn from. And this was challenging as a child, growing up in the 80s. You've been stigmatized when your parents got divorced in our country. And yes, for me, it was great because I have had 3 grandparents, and for me, it was not such a big deal. But I realized that for everybody else is struggling with it. So I came to work with families and family dynamics also, and how to balance those dynamics in families.
I see. So that was kind of, if you like, taking your experience and helping others not suffer the trauma, I guess, and the upset that this caused you.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. And also that there is always a golden nugget in uncomfortable situations.
Yes, there is. I've talked before about how when you find your purpose, it's like this golden thread appears through your life, and all these things that have happened to you that seem random events.
Yes.
Suddenly it seems they all have a purpose.
Yeah.
And they all flow from this core purpose, which, you can search for before that event or that thing happens, but you can't connect the dots.
And there is karma
for
everybody, but how you deal with the karma, that's another story. And it's all about how we deal those life events. Sometimes you can't avoid it because it's written down before your birth.
That's true. That's true. And
Yeah.
would you say, I know in my early days, I think a bit more deeply about it now, but in my earlier days, I almost associated karma with the counterpoint to grief, if you like, or shame. This karma was a way of it coming back around, and you could either, you know, make it a positive thing when it comes back around so that you turn it around, or you could relive the event of the past through somebody else. Is that a good way? I don't know if that's a good way of looking at it, or if that's correct in your thinking. I don't know.
There are always different ways of looking at one at one point. There's
very polite. Very polite.
There's no right or wrong anyway.
How would you explain it? Because this concept of karma isn't something that everybody will kind of understand or lock into. So how would you explain this karma?
I think there are different layers of karma. There is karma that comes from your parents and from the family you were born in. There is a saying that what your parents messed up is the thing you have to clean up.
I see a lot of that when I do emotion work with people, energy work. A lot of it is generational.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
The mothers and fathers, but further back than that. But go on, that was the first one. And what's the second one?
About karma. The second one is what you bring from your past lives, from your past experiences. Yes. Yeah. And then when something occurs, good or bad, is always how you deal with the emotions, how you pace your future, how you do it, with how you deal with your emotions.
Yeah, because past lives, I've done timeline regression with some clients and things, but past lives are really quite interesting because, as we know from a physics point of view, energy is neither created nor destroyed.
Yes.
So the fact that we have lived previous lives is no great surprise.
Or we are living it at the same time. Because it's all connected. Time is just an illusion.
The multiverse.
The relativity of time.
Wow, we could talk about this for a long time. Okay, so going back to your story, we've talked a bit about the karma,
purpose.
and the family dynamic. So that was your kind of your first career, was it?
Yes, it was. And I'm still supporting to connect, to help and connect and support business owners with their personal life and to get it sorted in the business life, because there is always interconnectivity in those patterns that are holding us back or triggering emotions in their teams. And
I know that, and it's so nice to think that we can separate our working life and our home life. You take it home. So I know, for example, when I've had a bad day at the office, and I've got an office, you know, just at the back of the garden, at the back of the garage. But when I come into that house, if I've had a bad meeting or if I've had a bad time, I take that bad time in with me. And although I think I'm trying to be, you know, dad again, my wife can see, my son can see when I've had
it's okay. But it is okay. It is completely okay. We are all humans, and we experience emotions, and I think it's unhealthy to hide it away because it's holding so much energy. It costs us so much energy to hold the energy back and those emotions.
I agree, but it's so.
Children, children learn a lot when they see, oh, dad is having this emotion and now he's doing that to overcome it. Yeah. So I don't think that it is very healthy to try to put all our emotions away, because we are leading by example.
So you think it's in your mind it's better to I don't know, to somehow just accept that we're feeling this emotion.
I think it was shortly interrupted.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I think you were talking about how it's important for us to accept that we're feeling that emotion.
Yes.
And not to try and hide it or to try and put up
Yeah.
a
A mask.
face.
Yeah.
Because that, with my son, for instance, he might learn that and as a strategy to cope himself. Is that basically what we're talking about? Oh, we've got internet problems, it seems. We'll let Sabina's internet recover.
Oh, excuse me, my internet is so weak today.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Shall we carry on for now?
I try to make myself a hotspot for
Okay.
just a second. Maybe it will be better, and excuse me for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, Sabina, that is a really interesting thing to talk about, because I worry about how my behavior in every moment might impact my son, what he might learn, what he perhaps shouldn't learn, and everything we do from that perspective is mirrored in the lives of the people at home. Sorry, I lost you for a big stretch there, Sabine, but
Yeah, I'm back now.
You're back now. Okay, jolly good. So yeah, I was just saying in my little soliloquy that I do worry about how my behaviour in every moment might affect my son, and he might create a strategy around his own life that mirrors mine, and it's a constant worry.
Yeah. Don't worry, he will find his way.
He will, and I think
yeah,
in many ways, I think it's for the next generation to unpack some of that baggage themselves. That's the process of growing, of living.
Yes, and I find the process of family constellation, which I'm doing, very, very helpful in unpacking these things and finding a good strategy and experience the emotions differently. It's such a great tool for doing it, clearing out this everything.
I'm not going to even hazard a guess at what family constellation work is. Is there a way you could simply describe it to the audience so that we can get an understanding of what that might be?
It's a psychotherapy process where you work with a group, and you have an issue, and we put that issue in a room, and every person is a symbol of a family member.
Okay.
And it's like a morphogenetic field around us that every human is connected with, so that they can feel the spirit of your father, of your mother, of everybody else. And then they express those feelings and how they relate to each other. And what's really interesting is they go through a process where the dynamics, the hidden dynamics, get visible in this whole process. It's really, really hard to describe. I've been I learned it at university, and I thought, oh my God, it's just another lesson today, and let's sit down and enjoy the teachings. And then I've been asked to go in for the 3-year-old boy of a colleague of mine, and I stepped into the role of this 3-year-old boy. She stood behind me and put her hands on my shoulders and said, so now you are connected with the soul of the spirit of my son. And like this, I got to cry like a 3-year-old. And I wasn't prepared for this this moment. But it was such a huge experience that I decided to go deeper on this road and to really, really go behind this dynamics. And yeah.
That's really interesting. Now it's not a really huge surprise to me, because I do, as part of the motion work I do with people, I do muscle testing, where you can effectively act as a proxy for somebody who's, you know, a child, or somebody who you can't physically be around because they're thousands of miles away or whatever. So I guess energetically it must tap into that same source energy, which of course you can find anywhere, can't you?
Yeah. And we can tap into this field, this knowing field of consciousness, and connect with it, and what we can see, we can experience. And what's so amazing about it is that you have not go yourself through it, because they have done it for you in this process. And then when it's done, you step into yourself in the position they have found for you, where you feel comfortable, and then you get the experience transferred to yourself. And now you, as you radiate a different energy, you attract different energy, and the whole system gets moving in a fine direction. And things that seemed impossible can happen. It's really a magical tool.
It is. I can imagine it is. And from a metaphor perspective, I guess it's almost like having type 2 diabetes and giving your body to somebody else, for them to get rid of the type 2 diabetes. And there you are. You know, there's your body back again.
And you can also take the pattern, type 2 diabetes, and separate it from you. And where is it come from originally in your system? You can have a look at this too. It's really, really awesome.
And that is the best description I've ever heard of, almost the secret sauce I bring to my type 2 diabetes programs, because I work energetically with people, not in exactly the same process as you described, but in a broadly similar process. Then there can be many emotions that we've experienced, you know, many years ago, some of them prenatal, some of them generational.
These generational traumas that we carry on. And there is a ritual that you can give it back to them, and just take the golden nugget from it, that you have to go on with it. So we are connected with the negative patterns and negative emotions to our relatives that are passed from past generations. But they have, most of the time, they have a gift for us. And to discover that, it's also a very, very beautiful process, because often it's about purpose and the hidden talents we don't have, we neglect in ourselves. And this negative thing is the thing that keeps us going to search for it till we have it.
I've got you.
That's how the healing gets into flow.
Yeah, and that is really powerful. The idea that effectively this is our this is a lesson for us to learn, but it's really us choosing to ignore that lesson that's creating this generational angst, if you will, or energy imbalance in the body.
Yeah.
So once you can accept that lesson, then if you like, your soul will release its energy for that healing to happen. Is that a reasonable description of what you're trying to say?
The energy is going to its origin. You are the one that holds it in a place where it does not belong any longer. If you have opened the present up.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Unwrapped it and removed all the stuff that's in it for the packing.
You've got me smiling as well now. I love unwrapping presents, so
yeah.
That's a really nice image,
Hmm.
and that you can see when you, I guess, when you work with a client like that, you can see a sense of emotional release.
Yes.
When
Yeah,
that happens.
and it affects the whole group.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always the right people coming to the right time that need exactly this experience also for their systems.
Really, really powerful. And when you operate, do you operate in what language do you work in always?
Oh, I use English and German.
Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put on screen for everyone so that they know how to get in contact with you if if their interest has been piqued. I'm gonna show your I think this is your YouTube channel, which I think is quite rich now. I can't remember how many videos of the last time I looked, how many videos you've got, but there's a lot of stuff there, isn't there?
Oh, it's just seven videos, but
Oh man,
you can just go on with it and do some
yeah,
qigong for
yeah,
balancing your emotion, heart and mind.
yeah. Yeah, well, I overindulge in that because I'm a great fan of qigong, and I've been doing that probably wrong, but I've been doing it for the last 15, 20 years now.
We always we start every day. Everyone is starting every day at the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah,
at the very beginning. There is no good or bad.
yeah.
We just start.
Thank you. Well, I promised people who are in my T to D reversal group that I'd do some Tai Chi standing, to show them the standing exercises I do. It's probably a bit like watching paint dry, but I can kind of try and explain what I'm doing. But maybe I could have you on the channel one
It
time,
would
and
be a pleasure for me, of course.
you could do a little
Yeah,
bit
it would be great.
as well. That would be
Yeah.
really good. So I'm going to actually put your Facebook page up because I know you've got a Facebook profile page which is worth sharing. So let me put that up as well. When if an audience member is thinking, oh well, that's really interesting what Sabine does, and maybe that could help me. Can you give me a particular how would somebody recognize themselves as a potential client of yours? What pain might they be going through? What difficulties might they be having?
Yeah. If they sense emotional stress, if they sense that they could have a better relationship with themselves and their families. So the thing why I do qigong and kriya yoga is because every relationship starts with yourself, and you have to build up your own relationship with yourself first, and then you can balance the outside with going inside. So you have to connect with yourself and create balance from the inside out. And
That's so
making
true.
making those ripples in the world by balancing you.
Yeah, that's so true. I have to remind clients a lot of the time, the reason they're choosing to reverse their type 2 diabetes is not for their wife or their family. This is a gift that they are giving to themselves, because it's only once they've given themselves that gift that other people who know them, who love them, can receive that gift as well.
And the greatest present you can be gifted to yourself, you can gift yourself with, is to get yourself into silence. Silence is so healing, and it's completely underrated. Connect with nature and find your nature in the macrocosmos that surrounds you.
Because there were just so many distractions in the world to pull you away from that. And just from I don't know, if you think about all the frequencies in our home, our mobile phones and our computers and our radios and our, well, a bit old-fashioned really, but all these devices that are emitting foreign frequencies.
Yes.
I think the frequency of the Earth is about 50 hertz, isn't it?
I think about 403.2.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I've got that wrong.
I don't know exactly, but it might be around that.
But basically,
it must be gone up.
Yeah, exactly. They're all these side bands which are effectively acting as harmonics on the base frequency of the Earth.
Yes.
Disrupts messages. It means that we can't communicate as well as we could.
It's the thing that we don't do it. We can, but we have to build in the time, and that's the very first thing we should do, is to build time in for ourselves. When we start a business, when we are entrepreneurs, we have to build it for us, to have to build that we have to be strong in our power, in our bodies, so that we can create a healthy business.
Yeah. The other thing, the last thing I wanted to say was that it all starts with healing yourself, because you can't, you can help somebody else, but you can't heal somebody who doesn't want to be healed.
Yes, you have. That's what I do. I teach how to heal yourself, how to connect yourself, and it's all starts with the relationship with yourself. It's one of the core factors of health, the relationship with you and with your loved ones. And if you have that, everything falls into places.
It does. Sabine, thank you very much. I've been so touched by your words. It's always such a beautiful experience meeting you.
Thank you so much.
And if anyone wants to reach out, I've got the Facebook page there for Sabine. And if you do feel the urge, I would strongly recommend that you follow it, because there's a reason you feel that way. And in terms of type 2 diabetes, I'm very glad to have a connection with you, Sabine, because I feel that you've helped me and supported me as I'm building this business. The strongest healing system for those who want to release type 2 diabetes, and it's been so important to me and will continue to be. I'd like to have you back on the show again sometime soon. And again, I'd like to have you perhaps talk to my type 2 diabetes reversal group too.
It would be a pleasure for me. Thank you for a kind invitation.
We will set that up. Thank you. Well, thank you very much indeed. I'm not going to tell you who's going to be on next week because that would be letting the cat out of the bag. But I will post something around Wednesday. Normally I do. And then you'll find out who that is. Best thing to do, by the way, is to connect on my YouTube channel. I've not got it on the screen right now. But anyway, you'll find me anywhere at... if you type in this handle, which I will, you can guess what it is. It's at T2D Reversal. That's my, I think it's called a handle on YouTube. So yeah, if you type in that, you'll be able to find me. Of course, I can't go without mentioning the big fellow up here. The Diabetes Destroyer, and if you choose that as a search term, you'll be able to find me that way as well. So one way or the other, try and follow me on YouTube, because there are some changes going on in Facebook. It might be more difficult for me to get this broadcast out to you, so best way is to join me on YouTube. Sabine, again, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you again soon, and everybody have a good week. Bye for now.